Well, it's time for a change of season. So it's out with the pumpkins. All the mums are out. Everything else that kind of had an autumnal vibe is out of here. And now I'm transitioning into both winter and spring, but the spring is going to come first before I do anything to kind of make it look holiday-ish or Christmassy. And that is I'm going to get my bulbs in. Now, this window box is massive, and I'll have Stuart put the dimensions up so that you know exactly how large it is. And it's always large enough so that I feel like I have a mini garden in here and I can have multiple layers of things. So I've got 2 green mountain cones in here, and these stay put. They stay in here all of the time. Now, as we have said ad nauseum, we had an ice storm. And this used to be pretty much in full shade, and now it's going to be in full sun. So I am assuming that these guys might get distressed, and I'm going to have to relocate them someplace else, or I'm not really sure exactly, because this is a whole new situation for me. And by the way, Stuart says to say thank you to all of you who have commented on his clever and cute new intro with the tree coming down. Now, happily, the tree didn't really come down. It just took a great big blow. But it's cute, it's clever, and it just helps us try to kind of keep our chin up, to inject a little bit of humor into what has been rather traumatic to us. So, here's my layers. In the foreground, I have variegated ivy, regular ivy. I've got some variegated lamium, and all of this pretty much just spills over the edge. If you've been watching me for a while, you know that this is in here pretty much all of the time. I've got a heucherella in here, and then recently, last year, I put, and I even left the marker in here so that I would remember, an HF Young Clematis. This is going to bloom kind of blue, and hopefully it will cascade over the side. This is kind of a trick for me this year, an experiment. But right now I'm going to add my 2 additional layers, and that consists of a lot of tulip bulbs that will be planted, excuse me, planted in here. The sun sometimes makes me sneeze. Does it make you sneeze? So I'm going to plant some bulbs in here. That's going to be the back, I think of it in thirds, the back third, the middle third, and the foreground third. And in the back third, I'm going to have lots of tulip bulbs. Now, I plant up multiple containers of bulbs every year, and most of those I overwinter in the garage. But in this window box, they seem to do just fine. They get just enough moisture, but not too much. I don't have a problem with rotting or squirrels getting in them. So heretofore, at least, I have been really successful in growing bulbs, and it just looks so beautiful in the spring, you guys. This is what I think of as my famous window box. It's been in so many magazines and so many articles. It's been on TV, and I love it. So I'm especially fond of it. So in the back, and you can see here, you guys, look here, I've got really good dirt in here. Now, periodically I have to replenish it, but this was replenished this year, and it's good enough. It's good enough so that I am not going to add any kind of supplemental fertilizer, bulb food, anything like that. The beauty of a tulip bulb is it's got everything it needs in that little package to succeed and do just fine. Stuart, I've got a blowout. It's time for some stocking stuffer new gloves, garden gloves in my stocking. Did you hear that, Santa? Okay, so now I'm just going to plant these bulbs about to the same depth that I would plant them in the garden, and that is roughly 2.5 times the depth of the bulb. And underneath, I'm planting them to this depth, but underneath this, there's another good probably 7 inches for root growth. And I plant these really close together, you guys. Now, most of these are something called, a variety called Misconfection. They're reddish pink and white. They've got some variegation in them. We'll show a picture. We'll put up a picture, Stuart will, of what these look like in bloom. And I'm just putting the pointy end up, and I'm really packing them in there, you guys. And some of them will even be at slightly different levels. I love how not really exacting you have to be with bulbs. I think sometimes people are intimidated by planting them because they think that they're difficult or that they're finicky, and they're really not. Now you guys are always asking me to tell you what zone my garden is, and I'm in a zone 7 garden. So I don't really have to have these pre-chilled. If you are in zone 8 or higher, you probably will. And if you are in a lower zone, farther north than I am, you can probably put your bulbs in the ground well before I can. It is the day before Thanksgiving. I don't know when you'll watch this, but today is the day before Thanksgiving. And around Thanksgiving is my traditional bulb planting time. It makes it easy to remember if you're a new gardener. Okay, so now I'm just going to put that dirt back on there. Some of them might be a little shallower than that, but that's okay. I don't mind. I have found, again, they're not nearly as finicky as you think. And I can probably get close to 75 to 100 bulbs in here, you guys. And it's much quicker to plant them in pots or in this window box than it is to plant them out in the compacted root-filled soil. This soil is so loose that it just goes really, really quickly. And by the way, this blend complements and harmonizes with the colors that I've got growing out in the garden beds, because I really like that continuity. I stick to a fairly tight color palette. As I've told you before, the color palette is kind of dictated by other things that I have growing in the garden, other shrubs, my own color preferences, the style of garden I have, and really how they look against the facade of my house. So as you can see, I'm being methodical, but I'm really not having to be that exacting. If they're planted kind of in layers, if I plant one on top of the other, then they'll both come up. I run into a little bit of an issue here, you guys, because let me see if I can show you. Inside this wooden window box, you guys, is a metal liner. I don't know if you can see it. There's so much planting in here, but there, you can see right there, Stuart, there's a metal liner in here. Okay, this metal liner is actually in 2 parts. There's a liner to the left and a liner to the right, and sometimes right in the middle I run into the edge of that liner. Now if I feel like I need to put more soil on this, I can always add some later. Now the reason I think maybe that the squirrels don't bother this too much is because I typically put, for Christmas, I'll put a layer of greenery on here and sometimes some massive sugar pine cones and berries. I'll probably later add a little bit more soil. Always stealing from Peter to pay Paul around here. Now, this is kind of like my back third. My middle third, I typically reserve for violas, pansies. Later when I find them, I'll probably put some little cabbages in here. And when this is all in bloom, it is beyond sweet, you guys. So I just kind of put those in the foreground, and I will, of course, water this in extremely well. And by the way, you guys, you'll notice that I don't always plant things straight up like this. A lot of times I'll plant them on the side. That way they immediately can cascade. And look at how pretty that looks, that white sweet viola looks against the variegation of that lamium. Now in the ground, lamium can be invasive. I think it's also called dead nettle. It can be invasive, but I find it does great in containers. And this ivy and this lamium have been here for years. So all I have to do is switch out the seasonal color, and that's my preferred planting. I'm like a squirrel. Periodically I unearth one of those. And it's okay if there's some overlap of the violas on top of the bulbs. That is not a problem. Now, some of these you can see have already gotten kind of leggy because I plant them so late. And I'll enjoy the blooms for a little while, but then I'll come back in and I will really pinch those back. And then as early as the end of February, I will start kind of in a targeted way, excuse me, Stuart, in a targeted way, I'll start feeding these violas with a liquid fertilizer. And that way, the fertilizer or the violas, all of that will be really beautiful and fill in. So Stuart, can you see this layering I've got going here? And see how pretty that looks? And then maybe right in here I may put a cabbage or some kale with white in it. I love mixing edibles with ornamentals. It gives it a very much of a Peter Rabbit vibe. And the other thing, these violas are not at all root bound. They've got really beautiful root system, and they're moist because I watered them not too long ago. So there you have it. In the front third, we have all of this spilling ivy and ground cover. Then I've got a layer of violas. I've got my tulips in the back. I'll complete these other two sides, and then when I find them, maybe as a little added sweetness, I'll add some cabbages or kale. Have a fun weekend, you guys.